Okay, good morning. Hopefully you guys can all hear me. And welcome to Business 272. Okay, so I don't know if you've all used WebEx before, but it's very similar to Zoom. And I'm sure you've used Zoom at this point. And you've probably used WebEx before, but if you haven't, it's pretty easy to get used to. It's very similar to Zoom. I use WebEx for my classes because that was the only option we had back in March, and so I kind of got used to it. And I think it's a little bit easier to share material, and so I find that it's pretty useful for doing the remote classes. So let me see if almost everyone's here. Yeah, I think we're missing a few, but I think most of the class is here. I think there's 14 or 15 students in the class, so good size. Okay, and so I don't know if you guys can everyone see the chat feature? And so I usually keep the chat feature. So I usually just share some material, whether it's Excel or Word or PowerPoint or just the Blackboard page or web page. And so most of the meeting will be kind of working together with shared material. But you should be able to see the chat feature over here. Let me post. I posted like a good morning chat, and I'll post something else here. Okay, so if you can see that chat feature, I usually keep an eye on that. And so if you have a quick comment or a question, I'll check that and try to respond right away. And you can also unmute yourself and just ask a question, old school way. And so either way, you can well try to mute yourself unless you have a question, because if a bunch of people have their sound on, the sound kind of gets distorted. But if you have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself and just ask it, or you can post whatever to the chat. And so hopefully everyone can see that chat feature, and hopefully everyone knows how to turn their sound on if you have a question. So any questions about WebEx right now? Is any problems with the volume or the chat or anything like that? Everybody got knows what they're doing with WebEx, or can at least figure it out.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and so I'm assuming that everyone has access or can access the Blackboard page, and so the Blackboard page looks like this. Okay, and so another thing, I record all the meetings, and so if you miss anything or you can't join for part of it, then I record all the meetings and all the material. And so if you miss anything or want to kind of view something again, I'll record the session, which I'm doing right now. So we're being recorded, and I'll post that to my YouTube channel, and you can view it whenever you want. And I'll show you where that is in a little bit. But everything's being recorded, so if you miss something or your Wi-Fi goes out or something like that, don't worry too much, because you can view it later. And everything's got a digital footprint, so everything's being recorded, and everything you can view it at a later time. So it's better to do it live together with the class, but if you miss something, then you can see it later. So here's the Blackboard page. And again, I'm assuming that everybody can access Blackboard. And if you can't, let me know, but there shouldn't be a problem with that. And so I think let's go through the syllabus first. And if you have any questions or comments or just anything that you need to have answered, go ahead and post in the chat or go ahead and just ask it. So I think I emailed the syllabus, so maybe you had a chance to look at that. Maybe one or two students joined late and didn't see it, but if you go down to the syllabus section here on Blackboard, you can see that. Okay, so I guess I already got it pulled up, but so this is the same syllabus I sent you all via email, but let's go ahead and run through this and see if we have, there's that. Okay, so this is Biz 272, which is Introduction to Operations Management. We're going to be doing a lot of Microsoft Excel work together, and pretty much every day. And so hopefully you were able to get access to Excel or Microsoft Office. And if there's any issues with that, I'll help you with that in a little bit. But once we get through all the logistics and introduction stuff, we'll go ahead and start doing some Excel work together. And yeah. Okay. So here's my full name. It's James Joseph Hoffman. I usually go by Jake. So you're welcome to call me that. That's what I normally go by. My cell number's on here in case you need to reach me via cell. Yeah, I'm pretty good at checking the school email, and so you can reach me either of those ways. If you have a longer question, probably best to send me an email, and I'm usually pretty good at getting back at that. All right. There is a textbook I use for the class, which is this one. And what I usually say is I guess I'll post this here, but all right. So what I posted there is that the textbook I had to make a required textbook, and I use a lot of the material from that textbook, so I'll be using it. But I like to say that the textbook is optional but recommended, and so it's definitely not going to hurt you, and it probably can be some use if you have it. So I don't know how many of you have the textbook, or if any of you have the textbook. I'm usually by the first week. Not a lot of students have the textbook yet, and so there's a lot of material that I'll provide for you just already that I've kind of gone through the textbook many times and made study guides and steps and things that I think are most useful. And so if you're able to come to all the meetings and do all the exercises, you might be okay without the textbook, but sometimes it helps if you have it to see the pictures and there's some useful resources in it. But you definitely don't need it right this second. And if you have it, I'd go ahead and keep it. And if you want to buy it and it's not too expensive, it can probably be some use to you. But I don't want to make every student have to buy the textbook, and so you can maybe start going along and see how it goes. But students have done very well without the textbook. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. But this is the textbook I'll be using, which is a kind of an older edition. It's a pretty big textbook, but I've kind of taken out the pieces I think are most useful in the exercises. Okay, so this is it, and let's go down to. All right. So questions about the textbook? Does anyone have the textbook yet?
Did you find it through Amazon or is it strictly through the school?
I It should be through. I mean, everything is you can find on Amazon. I think it's probably more likely to find it on Amazon, but I know it's also available through the school, and it's not the newest edition. So if you do choose to purchase it, it should be a little bit cheaper because there's a newer version out. I think this one is the fifth. Yeah, no, yeah, fifth edition. So you can. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon, but you can probably also find it through the school. Okay. So, all right, looks like everyone is here. So, um, okay, so let's talk about the breakdown of the grading. And so everything's going to be remote, and everything's going to be take home and done together. Okay, so I just put attendance here as 5%. I'm not really going to take attendance every session. Um, if as long as the students submit their material and their work, I'm pretty much going to give everyone full attendance because I know that sometimes you have to catch up a little bit later. But if I notice that students aren't turning in some of the work, then at some point I might have to start taking attendance. But I'm trying to give you guys a free 5%. So uh, as long as students are able to keep up, I'm not going to worry about that for now. And so just try to come to class because it's going to help you and it's going to help you learn the material. But I'm not going to start taking attendance until I have to. Okay. And so the bulk of your grade is going to be the assignments, which we're going to do together pretty much every day. So this class meets twice a week for I want to say 15 weeks. If you add the spring break, it's 16 weeks. Okay. And so we're going to do exercises in Excel almost every time together, including today. And so those assignments, we'll do them together. But if you miss something or have to catch up later, you'll have a week to catch up. And so those assignments will be due via the Blackboard form. So if you go to Blackboard and you click on the discussions section here, you'll see that I've made a forum, it's called, for each of the assignments. And so I'll show you to do this, but every time we finish an assignment, or every time you finish an assignment, you can post it here to the discussion forum, and then I'll check it later and give you just a basically if you do it, you get 100%. If you don't, you get a 0. So as long as you do most of the assignment that we do together, you'll get full credit for that. But all the assignments we do will be due to the appropriate discussion forum here, and so those are listed here. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. Okay, so assignments 50%, and we'll have 3 take-home exams, which will be the first one is assigned about week 5. And so these will be just kind of like bigger homework assignments. And again, they're take-home. There's no timed exams in this class, and so those will be each 15%. And again, this one will be about a third through. Midterm 2 will be about 2/3 through, and then the final will be assigned and due during finals week. Okay, and then this is the grade scale that is standard by the university. Okay, there's some course policies. You can look over those. Okay, and then I put I think a pretty accurate schedule here. And so what this lists is all of the assignments, okay, and then all the due dates. So there's basically going to be uh, 2 assignment. We'll do 1 assignment every day, and so like this one we'll do today, and this one we'll do Wednesday, and they'll both be due next Monday, okay. And so I mean, if you come to class and stay the whole time and do the exercise, you'll be done with it. So I mean, I expect that most of you will be done with this one after class today, and you can just submit it and you'll be done with it. But if you need an extra week to do it, you can do that as well. Okay, so we're going to do these assignments together via WebEx, but they're not due till the following Monday. All right, so these are all the assignments that I chose for this class, and then it's also got the exam due dates. Okay, so the first take-home midterm is due week 6, and we'll talk about that when we get around to there. Okay, and then you get a spring break. But the week of the 15th is spring break, so there's no class and nothing due that week. Okay, then we got the rest of the assignments. Midterm 2 is going to be due Monday, April 19th. So everything's due on a Monday. And then I believe this is finals week. So your final, this is way down the line, but your finals due Monday, May 24th of finals week. Okay, and then I just listed here the WebEx meetings. I mean, you know that this class meets every Monday, Wednesday from 7:40 to 9:15. So I listed those dates here just for reference. I've already set up all the WebEx meetings. And so that same web link that you clicked on to get to today's meeting, that's the same link you need to get to all the meetings. So the same web link, and it should give you a reminder every week or every time as well. Okay, just note that this week, March 15th and March 17th, that's spring break. There's no meetings that week. Okay, and because of that, it's normally 15 weeks of meeting, but because we skipped the week during spring break, then we have a 16th week, all right, for our last meetings, and then finals week is after that. Okay. All right, I think that's the gist of the syllabus. Any questions on anything we've covered in the syllabus so far? Or any general questions? Okay, so let's go through the rest of the Blackboard page, and then we'll do today's exercise in a little bit. And so okay, so the things you need to know on the Blackboard page. Here's the discussion forum. So all of the assignments that we do together in class are going to be posted here to the appropriate spot. All right, and so you'll have this one we'll do today. Okay, but there should be a spot for all of the assignments we do, and so you should be able to post yours, and then I can check your assignment later after the due date. Under the syllabus section, there's the syllabus. I posted an older PDF version of the textbook. It's not up to date, but if you don't have the current textbook, you can look at that. There's a link to the school's coronavirus information. Okay, so you can check that for updates, and there's a link for accessibility services. And so if anybody needs extra time or any special considerations, then please let me know, and I'm happy to accommodate that. Okay, and then these are all of I made a section for each of the assignments. So this is the one we'll do today in a little bit, or pretty soon. Example 2.2. And so what you'll have in each of the assignments is a Excel template that we're going to do together, a Word document that has kind of the steps and the formulas that you need, and then also if there's any practice problems, I put those there as well. So each little section is kind of each day's material. So this is the first day, this is Wednesday, and so on. Okay, and then if you scroll down, you'll see that this section is empty because we haven't had any assignments yet. So after the due date of the assignments, I'll post the solutions to that there. Okay, so you can see those every Tuesday or so after the due date. I've got some stuff. I think I've already got some material for the midterms. So we'll get to this later, but this is stuff for midterm 1. This is stuff for midterm 2 for the final. And then here should be an active link to my YouTube page. Let's see if this works. Yeah. Okay, so if you go here, if you click on playlists, all right, here are the classes I teach at Laverne currently. And so if you click on the Biz 272, okay, I'll add this class's videos or WebEx sessions to this playlist, and so it'll be organized by date. And so after today's session, which is being recorded, I'll post the video here. And so if you miss anything or need to see it again, you can see it here. And so under the Biz 272 playlist, and just look at by date, and you should be able to find actually, you should be able to find all the videos, but all of our sessions, including this one, will be recorded and available there. So if you miss anything, you can see it. Okay, so I think that's it for the introductory stuff. So we went through the syllabus, we went through the Blackboard page. Yeah, so in a minute here, we'll go ahead and start doing our first exercise together. Any questions before we start doing that? Any comments or questions on the syllabus or the Blackboard or anything like that? Okay, so great. And if you do have any questions, you can post to the chat, or you can just ask your question by turning your sound on. So let's go ahead and, so here's what we'll do. Okay, we're going to do example 2.2 today from your textbook. And so the materials you need for that are on Blackboard. If you go here to the example 2.2 section, you should see the things we need for today. Okay, and then once we're done with this, the completed Excel file, you are going to post it here. All right, so first let's go ahead and, all right, so if you want to open up under example 2.2, you can open up, and so it hopefully, let me post this question here. Okay, so does anyone not have Microsoft Excel? And so I think a lot of you do, and I sent an email with a link. So if you didn't have it before, you can get Microsoft Office through the University of Laverne for free, the student version. And so I sent you the link to that you could do in the last one of the emails. And so hopefully that was useful for some of you. But you do need Microsoft Excel to do the exercises that we do together. But it's also free through the university. So right now, does anyone not have Excel?
I need to get it. So
Okay.
I got that
Yeah,
email.
you don't have to do it right this second, but so do you have that link I sent that you can get it through the school?
I don't think I was added into the class yet because I'm not on the Blackboard. I sent you an email due to my situation.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
Cole Roberts.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. You've already done the first third of the class,
Yeah.
anyways. So yeah, I'll send you the link to get Excel through the university.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and so all right. So anybody, does everyone else have Microsoft Excel, or at least knows how to get it? Okay. All right. And so you have to and so make sure that you're not, so don't use Google Sheets. And don't use the online version either, because there's some of the features that you can't do. And so if you don't have Excel right this second, it's okay, but just know at some point you need to get Excel. It's free through the university, but Google Sheets and the online Excel version don't have all the features we need. So yeah. All right.
Could I use Google Sheets right now, or would you want me to use the Excel? Because I have my laptop right now.
Yeah.
I'm using Google Sheets, but I can go to my computer right now and use the older version of Excel. I have like the 2007, or do you want us to use the newer version of Excel?
Um, the 2007 version is probably going to work fine, but the newer version is free through the university, and so you can try using that version and see if there's any issues. But um, I just know that Google Sheets isn't going to have all the features to do it, and so I mean you don't have to do it right this second. But if you want to do it together with the rest of the class, I'd recommend using the full version of Excel, either the newer version or you can try that 2007 version. So it's kind of up to you. But if you want to do the exercises like with the class, then you want to have the full version of Excel.
Okay, I'll move right now then.
Okay. So again, the exercises aren't due for a week. So if for some reason you don't have Excel right this second, or there's complications, you have a week to do it. So there shouldn't be any issues with that. Okay, and if anyone needs help getting the full version of Excel, again, send me an email and I'll help you do that right away. But so under example 2.2, you can open up this bookshelf costs Excel file here. Okay, so this is the template we're going to use for today. And then also if you go back to Blackboard, you'll see that there's an example 2.2 Word document. You could open that up, and that has so under the exercises, the Excel file has the Excel file and the template we're going to work with, and the Word document has the steps and any practice questions. So you can open up example 2.2, the Word document. Okay, so here is, so the Word document. So sometimes I have some optional videos that if we were meeting in person, I'd probably show the video to start the class. But showing videos via WebEx is probably not the best use of our time. So the videos will be optional. But if you have some time, there's the videos are only like 5 or 10 minutes, so you can click on those. There's a nice one here, just an intro of why you use Excel for business. Okay, so you can look at that if you have some time. Okay, so we've got the bookshelf costs Excel file. We've got the example 2.2 Word document. And let me just, I think the older textbook version has most of the exercises, but not all of them. And so if it has it, I'm going to read the little introduction. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is the gist of the exercise. So the first exercise we're going to do is we're going to look at a hypothetical bookshelf cost company. Okay, and so here it is, projecting the cost of bookshelves at this Woodworks company. And so this is just the description of what we're about to do. So the Woodworks company produces a variety of custom designed wood furniture for its customers. One of its favorite items is a bookshelf, which is made from either cherry or oak wood. Company knows that wood prices and labor costs are likely to increase in the future, and the Excel file is going to show those figures for board feet and labor hours required to make each type of bookshelf. Okay, then it's also got the current board feet and the current labor hours required to make each bookshelf, and the anticipated number of hours, or the anticipated increase in all those costs. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to build a spreadsheet model that enables the company to experiment with growth rates in the wood and labor costs, so we can see both numerically and graphically how the cost of the bookshelves are going to vary in the future years. Okay, so this will be a nice introduction to doing some simple business ideas in Excel. And so we'll start with this example 2.2, looking at this hypothetical bookshelf company. Okay, so if you go here, you'll see that we've got the material for the figures for the exercise that we're about to do. So if you look at this spreadsheet, the bookshelf costs Excel file, you'll see that these are the board feet required for each type. So it takes 30 board feet to make a cherry bookshelf, and 30 board feet to make an oak bookshelf. It also takes 16 labor hours to make each type. The current cost per board feet for cherry is $5.50, and the current cost for board feet for oak is $4.30, and those are expected to increase. This one at 2.4%, and this one at 1.7% each year. Okay, the current labor cost for this one is $18.50 per hour, and that's expected to increase at 1.5% per year. Okay, so what we're going to do is use that information to estimate the final cost of both types of bookshelves right now, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years into the future, and we'll make a little graph showing that. Okay, so this is, if you open this Word file, and so I'm mostly going to be having the Excel spreadsheet open, but these are the steps, and so I usually print out the Word document so I can refer to it when I'm doing the Excel sheet, but this is what we're doing. So the example 2.2 projecting the cost of bookshelves at Woodworks. We're using this Excel file, and these are the steps. Okay, so we'll go through these steps together and kind of complete this spreadsheet. Okay, so step one is just to note so we have a kind of a color coding system we're going to use when we start the spreadsheets. And so we're gonna color the inputs for each model light blue, just to note that they're inputs. We have more things we're gonna color when we get to more advanced models, but for this one, step one is just to note what are the inputs and I'll highlight those light blue. Okay, so on this model, we have some inputs, which are, so the board feet and labor hours required for each type of bookshelf. These numbers here, those are inputs, so we're going to color those light blue. So you can just click up here where it says fill color, and you can choose any of the light blue options. Okay, and then the current cost of board fee and the projected increases, those are also inputs, so we can color this little section light blue as well. And then also the cost of labor and the projected increase here. Those are inputs, we can color those light blue. Okay, then, so that's that. We got the inputs light blue, and then step two. Okay, step two is to start calculating the projected unit cost of wood. And so we're going to start using formulas. So, but all the formulas are listed here in the steps. And so step two. Okay, if you go to cell B19, which is right there, you can type in the formula that you see there in step two, which is equals B9. Okay, so the current cost of a board foot of cherry is $5.50. We're making a reference to that. All right, so equals B9 and then enter. Okay, and then because we just want to apply the same logic to the oak, what you can do is a nice way if you want to apply the same formula but don't want to type it in again is if you click on this B19 and grab the bottom right corner and just drag it like this to the next cell. Okay, then this one should say equals C9, which is the current cost of oak. Okay, so right here we have equals B9, and right here we have equals C9. Okay, and as we go through this, if there's any questions or if you missed something or want me to do it again, then please just let me know. We have plenty of time. Okay, so continuing with step one. Let's go to B20, which is right here. And let's type in the formula we see that for that one, still in step two, which is equals. All right, so equals, we're in cell B20, and the formula is equals B19 times parentheses 1 plus B $10. All right, and so if you hit enter, that'll apply that, and then I'll explain what the formula means. Okay, so all we're doing here is we're adding the projected increase. Okay, so what this says is in 1 year, take the current cost, which is $5.50, and increase it by 2.4%. Okay, and you can see that the dollar sign, when you put that in front of a number or a letter, that keeps that reference constant. So that means we're going to stay in row 10. Okay, so the dollar signs make an absolute reference, which kind of locks it in that row or that column. So putting it in front of 10 means we're going to stay in 10. Okay, so all that says is that if you increase $5.50 by 2.4%, that's $5.63. Okay, and so we're going to see that if you specify the formulas nicely, like this one, you can kind of apply the same formula without typing it again to a bigger range. And so we want the same formula, but we're going to apply it to the bigger range for all the costs for board feet. Okay, so what you can do is click on B20 and drag it across, grab the bottom right corner and drag it like this. Okay, and then we're going to apply it down to all the other years. So if you have this area selected, B20 to C20, what you can do is grab the bottom right corner again and drag it down all the way here. Okay, and if you did that correctly, it's going to apply that formula in all of these areas. Okay, so what hopefully happened is it increased the cost of a cherry book, the cost of board feet for cherry, 2.4% every year, and increased the cost of oak 1.7% every year. All right, so you can check, like, see this one is, there's the previous year's cherry, and then increase that 1.7%. Okay, so did that work? Is everyone following along? Okay, so that's step 2. So again, if you need me to repeat something again or show a formula or your numbers don't look right, I can try to fix them. So if you need something repeated or have a question, please let me know. So step 3 is we're going to calculate now the projected labor cost. So we're going to get we got the cost of wood. Now let's get the labor cost. Then we'll get the cost of a bookshelf, which includes the labor cost and the labor cost. I mean, the raw material cost and the labor cost. Okay, so step 3. Is go to cell D19, which is right here, and type in the formula you see there in step 3, which is equals equals B13, which is just the current cost the current labor cost per hour. Okay, enter. And then here in D20, put in the formula you see in step 3, which is equals. Okay, equals D19 times parentheses 1 plus B $14. All right, so what this is going to do is see it's going to increase the previous year's labor cost by the annual increase, which is 1.5%. So if you increase $18.50, 1.5%, that gives you $18.78. Okay, and then you can probably guess that we're going to apply that formula for each of the years. So if you have that formula there, you can click on D20, grab the bottom right corner and drag it down to year 6 like that. All right, so you can see that we increased all the years annually 1.5%. Okay, so we got the cost of board feet every year. We got the cost per labor every year. Now let's get the cost of the bookshelf, which includes the board feet and the labor cost. Okay, so step 4 is to calculate the projected bookshelf costs. So there's a big formula. Let's put that in cell E19. Okay, so we're going to put the formula here and make sure you get the formula accurate because we only have to type it in here and then we'll apply it to the bigger range. So let's put the formula in E19, which is equals. All right, so the formula is equals B $5 times B19 plus B $6 times $D19. All right, so you should get 461 for this first one. Okay, and then because we specified it correctly with the dollar signs, we're going to apply that formula to the rest of the range. So if you're on E19, you can grab the bottom right corner and drag it over like this. Okay, and then with both of those E19 and F19 selected, you can grab the bottom right corner of that and drag it down all the way to year 6 to get the annual cost per bookshelf for both cherry and oak. So just grab the bottom right corner and drag it down like this. Okay, so you should get those values for the cost per bookshelf for cherry and oak. All right, it's right here. So did we get? All right, so did that work? Did we get those? Did we get those numbers there?
I got those numbers.
Okay, great.
did too.
I got a different number.
I did as well.
Okay, so yeah, so I figured that, I mean, usually there's some issues in the first one. So what, let's see. So what are the numbers you got? Are they way off or they?
Yeah, it's way off.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. So normally what I do is, okay, so if you want to go right now, the few of you that have different numbers or want me to check it, go to example 2.2, which is today's thing, and just post your file, and then I'll look at it and see if I can fix it. So just click, so go to the example 2.2, click on create that thread, and post your Excel file, and then once it's posted, I'll look at it. And then sometimes it helps the rest of the class to see what some of the common errors are. Okay, and so the common error is probably this formula, and so double check this one, but I'll see if I can find some other issues. All right, so let me do, the next step is just to make a chart. So let me start doing that, and then I'll come, once you post your thing to example 2.2, I'll take a look at it. So the next step, if you got the values, is just to make a chart of your results. So step 5. Step 5 is just to make a chart. So you're going to select the range. You're going to make a summary of the bookshelf cost for each type. And so you're going to select the range E18 to F25. Okay, so E8, if you select E18 to F25, see it's the titles and the costs of the bookshelves for each year for both types. So select E18 to F25 and then go to, so it's depending if you're using a Mac or Windows, the drop-down menus are a little bit different, but you want to make a chart. So right here, for Windows, click on Insert.
How did you select it? How did you select them all?
So you can either do it with the mouse or just with the Shift arrow key. So if you do it just if you hold down Shift and you hit the right arrow and just keep holding down Shift and hit the down arrow and just let go. Or you can just use the mouse if you have a mouse and select it like that.
Okay, I got it. Thanks.
Okay. And then, so again, we're trying to make a chart. So on Windows, you want to click Insert. And then I usually click on this, there's a recommended charts option, which usually gives you what you're looking for. So if you click on recommended charts, we want this one. So see the one that says line that has both the cherry and the oak price, and here are the prices and here are the years. Okay, so if you find that, you can hit OK. Okay, so we're gonna do some formatting with the chart, but were we able to find the, so I know the options are a little bit different for Mac versus Windows, but there should be an insert option and there should be either recommended charts, and here's the line chart. So was everyone able to find the appropriate chart option?
My chart looks like that, just not exactly spot on like that. Would it be okay to still use that the chart I have, or does it
Yeah.
have to be exactly like that?
No, it doesn't have to be exact. As long as you have the prices here and the number of years here, and then a separate line for each type, then it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so there's the chart, and again, if you weren't able to get the chart, let me know, and I'll help you do that. So we're gonna format the chart. So why don't you let me see if all right. So let me look at this one, which is for Alam. Is it? Did I say that right? So I think you posted just the blank template. See,
How do I post it with all the input that I put?
okay, let me. Okay. Okay, and then so let's do a few things here for the chart. And so if you want to, what's this? If you want to add change the chart title to, I don't know, cost per bookshelf, you can do that. Just type it in. Okay, so here's the cost over here, and then down here is the. So what I want to change here is, see, years from now goes from 0 to 6, but in our chart or at least mine says 1 to 7. We can make that look like this, and so it matches up the spreadsheet. And so what you can do, or first let's add titles to the axes. Okay, so if you click on the chart, and if you're using Windows, there's a chart elements plus sign, or you should be able to get the chart elements. But if you get the chart elements, hit the plus sign. Oops. And if you click on the option for axes titles here, then you can type in the name of the axes titles. Okay, and so this is the cost. So let's just say USD for US dollars. Okay, and this, the x-axis, this is years from now, so you can type that in.
Wait, how do you get the options for to title like the axes?
Okay, oh yeah, so if you get to, so do you see, are you using Windows or Mac?
Windows.
Okay, so do you see, if you click on the chart, do you see this plus sign for chart elements?
Yeah, I do. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, click on that, and then the option you want to click is axes titles. Okay, and then just manually type in what the titles you want. So this one is USD for US dollars, and this is years from now. Okay, did that work?
Is it different for if you have a Mac?
Well, it might be. So do you know how to get the chart elements? Is there it might be an option up here.
I see change chart type. I don't think that's what I'm looking for though.
I know there's a way to get to chart elements on Mac, but I can't. It's not the same exact thing. So let me see what
Oh, I think I found it.
you found it.
Yeah, I found it.
Okay, so how do you get to chart elements on Mac?
It's at the top left. It's a
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's a drop down menu up here, right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's under chart and design.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so was everyone able to get the chart elements and add the axes titles?
I'm still not able to. My chart isn't showing any titles at all.
Oh, so can you get to the chart elements option? Like, are you using Windows or Mac?
I'm using Mac.
Okay, so if you click on the chart up here, there should be a drop down menu, something like that for chart elements. Do you see that? Like you have to select the chart first, and then when you go up here, there should be some option for elements, chart elements, or chart design or something like that.
My layout looks a little different than yours. It looks a little older.
Well, you should still have the option. It just might be presented differently. And so when you click on the chart, do you see some options up here?
When I click on the chart, it just says I have the option to change. It doesn't say anything that yours is saying.
What if you just right click the chart? What does that do?
Do you have your screen like small? Because sometimes if you have your screen small, it'll cut off some of the top pieces.
Yeah,
that
you might just not be seeing the top menu, possibly.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Oh, you got it? Okay. What'd you do?
I lied. I didn't get it.
You did. Okay, well, I'm gonna help you.
Okay.
So, all right. So, when you click on the chart, do you see like are there menu options up here? Like, do you see this insert area with all the options?
Okay. I click on my chart and oh, I found it. Okay, it's distributed a little weird, but it's on chart layout and then it says chart title, axis titles, all that.
Okay, so you did find it?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so anyone else need help with this? Everybody got the chart and the chart titles and everything? All right, and then let me see if this was reposted. Okay, did you figure out the problem there? Because it looks like that you still have the old. You just posted the original one without any changes.
Right.
Yeah. Did you figure it out or?
I kind of just did it manually instead, so I added the values manually.
Well, that's fine for now, but you don't want to do that because that's gonna be very cumbersome when we get to
Right.
So, can you post it here? Like, can you save it and post what you have?
Yeah.
And I'll try to fix it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what we got the chart, and one more thing I want to do with the chart is I want to sync up the years from now to look like this. So right here, see it says years from now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. in our chart most likely says 1, 2 through 7. We can change that to be accurate with the spreadsheet. All right, and so what you want to do is click on the x-axis like this, see how it's selected, and then right-click it if you can. So when you click on the x-axis and right-click it, you should see select data. If you click on that, and I'll do this a few times if we need to, but when you get to this select data source option, right here where it says horizontal category axes labels, click on this edit button, and instead choose the range you want, okay, which is A19 to A25, so it's going to say 0 through 6 instead of 1 through 7, and then hit OK, and then hit OK. Okay, and so I'll do this again if we need to, but all I did was change the formatting here. So you see how it says 0 through 6 to look like this. And so now it looks just like we see in the spreadsheet.
Professor,
Yeah.
for people also, like, you can go to the right and you can go to was it chart filters? It's like a little pop-up menu on the thing, and you can find it right there on the bottom. Go down. Right, yeah, to the right, but it's on the bottom one. Yeah. You can click on that and it goes to it too.
Oh,
Yeah, and you can go to select data at the bottom and do the same thing.
oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know that. Well, that's definitely a lot. I don't know that everyone has that option based on the
Yeah.
version, but yeah, that's definitely a lot. Okay, so you can. Well, let me see if that. Let me try doing that. I'm gonna go back. Okay, so we had this 1 through 7. Then I click on chart filters.
And
so
then
what
you go to select data at the bottom. There's that like little
Oh,
green
okay.
link.
So it takes you. That's all right. So
It takes you to the same place.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
What would we
All right.
put
So
data?
what's that?
What would we put in the data range again to make it 0 through 7?
Oh, so in the data range, you want to manually select A19 to A25, so it shows 0 through 6 instead of 1 through 7.
Oh, so what would the formula say?
It'll just say equals A19 to A25.
Instead of F to 25 or whatever that says?
Yeah. So let me see what it'll say. This it'll say equals model whatever A19 to A25. Like if you that's the formula, but it's probably easier if you just select it.
Okay. Okay. No. Yeah, on my Google, I'm using Google Docs. So when I click select data, it just says chart data range.
Oh yeah, so Google Docs or Google Sheets isn't gonna.
Or not Google. Sorry, I'm on a Chrome, but I'm using the Office version.
Oh yeah, that should be fine. So what does it say?
It says chart data range. That's all it says. It says chart data range.
So can you get to this spot?
I can't bring that specific screen up, but I do have that part above it that says chart data range.
Oh, so you don't want to change that because that's the range of all the data. We're only changing the range of the x-axis. So you don't want to change that because that's all this.
Yeah.
You only want to change the labels for the x-axis. So you don't see horizontal category axes labels?
No, let me see if there's another area.
Yeah, so you have to let me I think what you're doing is selecting the chart, all of it, but you want to just select the x-axis and right click that. So see how it's only selecting this part?
Yeah.
Can you do that and then right click that and it should say select data?
No, it just says alternate text format cut copy. I could figure it out though. I don't want to.
So, but when you click on this, or when you right click like that, it doesn't do what I'm doing?
No, it just says alternate text format cut copy. I don't know why it wouldn't. Because I'm on a laptop and I'm right clicking, but it's not doing anything.
Okay. Well, another option is just to right click it and click on format axes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work either. Okay. Well, that's just it doesn't matter that much.
Oh.
It should do it if you, I don't know.
Let me see if there's another place I can go.
Okay. So was everyone, yeah?
I'll let you know.
Okay, so was everyone else able to get the labels changed here? Does anyone want me to do that part again? You got it?
Professor, I just had a question about the dollars on the y-axis where it goes from 0 to 600. How do we get it to the dollars again?
How do you get this to display in dollars?
Yes.
Or just this label? So to display in dollars, it's just taking like whatever format you had over here. It should display it, right? So you're saying you have numbers, but they don't have dollar signs?
Yes, mine are just 0 to 600 right now. I think I missed where you put it to dollars.
Oh, so I didn't. It was already done, formatted from the format over here. But if you want to, it needs to be formatted as dollars, you can just click on the y-axis and right-click it, and where it says Format Axes, click on that. And if you scroll down to number, okay, and then just change the category here to currency if you can get to this option.
Okay.
Did that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and then let me look at this one real quick. If it's okay. Okay, so you got, it looks like you got all the, oh, so it looks like these ones are right, but these ones are not, right?
Yeah, the oak.
So maybe you just, let's see. Okay, so this is equal, this should have been equals $$5 times B19 plus $$6 times, oh, there's just, you're missing a dollar sign here, that's it?
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, just put a $ D19 and then apply that formula and it should work. Yeah. So make that $1 sign add there, and just redo the formula, and it should be fine.
Into D19.
Yeah. So you had it correct, except you didn't have the dollar sign here. So it should be everything, and then $ D19. Okay, and then apply the formula over here, and then down the rest of the area.
Okay.
Okay, did that work?
I'm turning around now. Yeah, got it.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, so back here, here's the chart. I think we're done with this. So we got the dollars, the cost here. The years from now are from 0 to 6, and then you can see the expected increase of cherry and oak over the years. Okay, so we made a nice little graph of what we solved for in the spreadsheet, and then that was step 5. Okay, and then last thing here is what if questions. So what happens if one or more inputs change? So let's assume that all 3 projected annual increases are now 2%. And the point is, if we make any quick changes, does the model update accordingly? And it should. So let's just change all the percent increases to 2% and see what happens. All right, so. Okay, so back in the spreadsheet, the point was if you do it correctly and you change any of the inputs, the model should update accordingly. So let's say that this is now 2%. So in B10, just type in a 2 and hit enter. And in C10, just type in a 2 and hit enter. And also in B14, type in a 2 and hit enter. So we just changed manually all of the percent increases to 2%. You can see that all the numbers adjusted, and the chart should have also adjusted just based on those simple changes to the inputs. So you can make any changes to the inputs in light blue, and the model and the graph should update nicely. Okay, so I think we're done with the spreadsheet portion. And so if you're done with this, or if you're done with it now, so you can leave it with the 2%, or you can leave it as the original, which was 2.4%, 1.7%, 1.5%. Either way is fine. But this, if you have the textbook and want to see the same answer as the textbook, then put it back to the originals of 2.4, 1.7, and 1.5. But if you leave it at 2, it's fine. And so I think we're done with the spreadsheet portion. So if you're done with this, or when you're done with it, you can post it here.
You don't want us to do any of like the changing colors or anything? It says on the other portion, like you know how the chart really looks? Do you want us to change the colors of it or anything? In the example Word doc,
Oh, let me see what
the Word doc example.
here.
See how it's green and red?
Oh no, so that's a whole. So this is a practice question that just has. No, that doesn't.
Okay.
The colors don't matter. If you can't, I mean, you're welcome to change the colors if you want, but it's up to you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, your charts. You can experiment with the charts. Like you can change. There's different options and colors. You're welcome to do that, but you don't have to.
Professor, I wasn't able to get it to show 0 to 6. Do you want me to figure it out, or can I send it as it is?
So Yours didn't have this option, right, when you right-clicked it?
No, I mean, I could share screens and show you what it says.
It's fine. It's just it's just a display thing. So you can leave it as 1 to 7. It's
Okay, I'll keep that in mind for the future. Maybe I just need to go to my computer.
yeah, or maybe just I don't know, try to Google how to change the axes titles, but it's not that it's not going to affect the results, but just if you wanted to, I mean.
Okay.
But yeah, it's you don't have to fix it right this second. So you can just leave it as it says 1 to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so you can post your completed project bookshelf costs Excel file here. So just click on example 2.2 and just do what Alam did. And well, you got to post your finished one, but so just click on example 2.2 under discussions and click on create thread and just make a little thread with the title or whatever and just post your Excel file. Okay, so that's how you turn in. It looks like someone already did. Yeah. Okay, so if you're done with it, you can just post it now, and you're done. If you need more time, it's not officially due until next Monday. Okay, so everyone sees how to do that, and so I want to do just a few practice problems after this. Okay. So I have just a couple practice problems that I solved here for something similar to this. If you had some type of exam question like this. So if you click on all right, so here are the practice questions, then I solved them. Example 2.2. If you click on example 2.2 practice questions solved, you can open that up right now if you want. Okay, so what the point of the practice questions, if there are some, are to have, I try to make exam type questions based on some of the exercises. And so if there was a question on this type of model, it might look like this. And so here we got a screen cap, and you have some questions based on some of the missing information. Okay, so you don't have to turn this in. I've already solved it. You only have to turn in the Excel file. Okay, but here we go. So here's a screen cap, and here's some questions. A, what was the total cost for a cherry bookshelf in year 6? And so I just want you to know how to manually calculate the total cost with both components. And see, the total cost here includes the cost per board feet and how many board feet you need, and also the cost per labor and how much labor you need. All right, so for a cherry bookshelf in year 6, you need 30 board feet, and the cost per board feet is $6.34. Okay, so there's the board feet cost, or the raw material cost, and then you need 16 labor hours, and the cost of labor in year 6 is 2023. So you need 30 of those, and that's the cost, and you need 16 of those, and that's the cost. So the total cost is this times this, plus this times this, which is about $513.88. Okay, and then you could do the same. What is the total cost for an oak bookshelf for year 6 manually? And so you need 30 board feet, but the cost of oak board feet in year 6 is $476. So 30 of those, and the labor cost is the same, 16 times 2023. So the total cost for oak includes the raw material cost, the labor cost, which gives us $466, $1,000,000.48. Okay, and then part C, what was the percent increase in cost for a Cherry bookshelf from year 5 to year 6? So I just want you to take the number you got and calculate the percent increase. So this was the cost you got for Cherry for year 6. This was the cost in year 5. So what's the percent increase going from this to this? All right, all you got to do is take the change over the original, right? So 513.88 minus 504.65 divided by 504.65 gives us about 0.018, which is in percent terms approximately 1.8%. All right, so the projected change or the projected increase is just the change over the original, and then do the same for oak. What was the percent increase in cost for an oak bookshelf from year 5 to year 6? The oak went from $459.22 to $466.48. All right, so here's the newer value minus the original, so the change over the original. Okay, so you get $466.48 minus $459.22 divided by $459.22. That gives you about 0.016, which is about 1.6%. Okay, and that makes sense because the Cherry raw material cost went up by 2.4%, and this went up by 1.5%. So the average cost went up by about 1.8%, and this one 1.6% is somewhere in between 1.5 and 1.7. All right, so just some practice problems there. Any questions on these?
You're gonna have to
I
turn
have a
this in
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
on. Oh,
sorry.
sorry. Are we gonna be able to turn this in on Blackboard, right? The practice problems as well.
You don't have to turn in the practice problems. So the practice problems are just to go over examples and to make sure you understand them. But you only have to turn in the Excel file.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And was there another question?
Yeah. So where'd you get the 513 and the 466? Like for the first number for C and D?
Oh, so 513 is just this times this plus this times this. So it's just a combination of the raw material cost and the labor cost. So the labor cost is we need 30 board feet, and the cost for those board feet is $634. And we need labor, 16 hours, and the cost per labor is $20.23. So if you multiply this and multiply this and you add them together, then the total cost is both the raw material cost and the labor cost, which is this.
Thank you.
Okay? Yeah? Okay, you're welcome.
I have a question. Is this for future test references or these practice problems for like if we have a test or a quiz or something?
Yeah, so there might be a question like this on the take-home exam or take-home exams. And so I just wanted you guys to get some practice problems. So it just make sure you understand how to do it. Yeah, so just practice for potential take-home exam questions.
How will our exams be
Thank you.
formatted?
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, so exams, it's going to be, actually I have some, if you go to Blackboard, I might even have the, okay, so if you go to Blackboard and you scroll down to one of the midterms or the final, okay, so you can look at, you can pull up some of the practice exams or even the coming up midterm, which is already on there. So for example, if I click on the practice exam for the midterm. What you see is that the exam is kind of like you get a number of questions with. So here's number 1, which has a screen cap, and then you answer some questions, and then number 2, a screen cap from another example with some questions. All right, so the exams are like 5 to 7 questions with multiple parts based on the examples we do in class. So you wouldn't know the other ones, but here's one like the one we just did. Okay, so did that answer your question for the
Yeah,
what the exam?
that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so I think we're about done for today. And so again, let me just. So we finished example 2.2. The Excel file for that for the bookshelf costs is due in the discussion forum by next Monday, so February 8th. And then we'll also do this one, example 2.2, on Wednesday, and that'll also be due on Monday. Okay, so looks like, I mean, you guys figured that out. Okay, so it looks like most people already turned in example 2.2, so you're good on that. So let me know if you have any questions there. But make sure you post your completed example 2.2 here by Monday if you haven't done so already. And we'll do example 2.4 on Wednesday. All right, so any questions before we finish up for today?
I had a question, sir, about grading for homework. So if we like, let's say I turn it in like the first day and we're still like a week out from the assignment and you give me feedback on it, would I be able to resubmit it?
Yeah, I'd
Or
say.
you would,
Well, if
you
you
would,
if you tell me what, like, normally I wait till after the due date and I kind of check them all off. And
oh,
then
okay.
if there's any problems, I'll say like you missed this part, but it's mostly just if you make a good attempt at the assignment, you get 100%.
Oh, okay.
If you don't, I'll tell you need to do it again or something like that.
Okay. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
So if you have questions on it, make sure you let me know beforehand, because I normally just go through and check after the due date and say, okay, this is good, this is good.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so again, let me know if you have any questions on anything, but I think that's it for today. And the video for today's material will be on the YouTube channel you can look at later today. But yeah, I think that's it, and I'll see everyone on Wednesday morning. And thank you all for joining, and have a good rest of your week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Professor.
Thank you.